Something has been on my mind for a few weeks. I can't stop thinking about the image of Rey gazing upon the ruins of the Death Star and its implications to the plot of the Rise of Skywalker. So far, we have seen that design concepts dating back to The Force Awakens are making their way into aspects of this upcoming film. And based on that information, I think I have a pretty solid idea as to what is going on with the Death Star, Rey, and the Resistance, or at least, I think I have a pretty solid theory, but I'd like to recommend taking all of what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. It's mostly just fun to talk about. So, in the art of The Force Awakens, there are a few pieces of art which depict Kira, aka Rey, swimming through the Death Star trench because it's underwater. After its explosion, parts of the wreckage landed on a nearby planet, probably Endor. We also see an image of the Falcon completely submerged in the ocean as it heads towards the Emperor's Tower. Finally, we have another image of Rey swimming through the Emperor's throne room, and along with these images are some tiny bits of information about the thinking behind the designs for context. The idea was that Rey would have found a star map that would lead to all of the Jedi in the galaxy, as well as Luke Skywalker. She would have found this by the end of The Force Awakens in the original concept art. Now, we all know that the star map idea was already used in a different yet very familiar way, so that is gone from the equation. However, we still have this idea of all the Force sensitives in the galaxy needing to be found, and that is what I'm going to focus on right here. All the remaining Force sensitives in the Star Wars galaxy. Where are they? We do know because of The Last Jedi and Canto Bight that there are some Force sensitives scattered around the galaxy. You know, that kid, Temeri Blag? But that's about all we have seen so far. I think Leia or Force Ghost Luke tasked Rey with finding a Kyber memory crystal, or something analogous to that still remains within the remnants of the Death Star 2. And I also think that these remains are a massive secret to the galaxy itself. The Kyber memory crystal would be something Luke had been looking for before his exile and death, and now it's on Rey to finish his mission of finding this artifact that would help the Resistance not only reinforce their cause with these Force sensitives, but they would also be protected by the musings of the evil First Order and Palpatine himself. And a lot of people are speculating that there will be a new order of Jedi by the end of the Rise of Skywalker. And I am one of those people, but we need more than just Kylo and Rey to really make a new order have merit. If I can allow myself to get real George Lucas-y for a moment, finding all these Jedi and rebuilding what the past has destroyed would pay direct homage to the fall of the Jedi in George's prequels, as well as the final fuck you to Palpatine. One trilogy has an entire Jedi Order wiped out. The next trilogy has two representatives of each ideology fighting with each other. And now the sequel trilogy has removed the glamour of the Jedi ideology, so it can be re-examined in order to succeed in its future. And yes, I know, Luke started a temple, but it failed. And it failed because Luke was still using the Obi-Wan version of How to Jedi. Now that there has been a sort of resolving of the Jedi sight with Rey and Kylo in regards to understanding that the light cannot exist without the dark and vice versa, it's time to create the next Jedi Order that looks at balance in a brand new way. But this will only be possible if somehow Rey and the Resistance are able to find all of these Force sensitives remaining in the galaxy. It would be so poetic to end on such a high note with thousands of Jedi as the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy again, thanks to Rey, Kylo, and Luke. And again, I know this is speculation on my part based off of old concept art. But tell me what you think about this idea. Do you guys think that JJ is going this route with the Death Star? I think it seems logical. However, we are talking about space wizard fantasy movies. For all I know, maybe they will go into the Death Star and Salacious Crumb is there waiting for them 30 years later and he's like ready to settle a score with Leia or something. I don't know. And that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you want to support the channel, please consider checking out my Patreon page. If you are new here, make sure you guys subscribe and hit the like button so that way you can stay updated on my latest content. AT-AT, signing off.